introduce to you Get You Home Towing, a family company with the sole purpose to get you home. Whether you need roadside assistance or transport services, we have a flatbed big enough to transport any vehicle to its destination. Our offer to you is our gratitude and great service at a much cheaper price. We are also open to transport through long distances. If you need us, all you have to do is call that number. I'll see you soon.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? I mean, what's really going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. We are Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Nikita Hansford, also known as your girl Tilted Halo, out here in these streets, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Coach KASH, Karen Sims Harrell of Twisted Threads LLC, our very own beloved in-host master life coach. Man, oh Shevitz. We got a show for y'all tonight. We're fitting to chop it up about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But before we get into it, I want to go ahead and take this opportunity to say thank you and welcome to every one of our replay viewers. Listen, you matter. Okay? Just in case, whatever. Just know that you heard it from this platform. You matter, and we appreciate you spending your time here with us. This is 90 minutes. This ride to get you a little nauseous if you're not careful. So as Karen often advises, get your passports ready. You have no idea just where this show might take you. Of course, we're going to get into tonight's superfan shout out, and of course, share a special music spotlight a little later on in the show. We're going to journey merrily down the stream, and of course, we finna be a little petty today. All right. So get yourselves together. If you haven't already registered for StreamYard and you would like to get in on the conversation, I need to see your name in order to acknowledge you. Okay. Look, and then, of course, we're going to get into what's really going on. We got a lot to talk about and a short time to get there. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it started. Coach KASH, how you doing, girl?
I am doing okay. You know, it's interesting how these days just kind of come together, and I think I'm coming out of my food coma for the holiday. So did all of the cooking.
I introduce to you Get You Home Towing.
Did all of the things that we needed to do. Yes, it did all of the cooking. See, that's what happened when the food coma hit. It could literally be whatever on lock forever and ever. And so excited. I think I'm okay with whatever food comes next, because we had the turkey, the ham, the greens, beans, tomatoes, potatoes. Oh, we had all of them. Hey, we had all of them, and now it's sort of like food. I would give me some fruit, okay? Give me some light chomping, because I don't know about your plate, but we did a lot of chewing on this side here. I'm just saying, like, it was succulents everywhere for all of the foodies out there. If this wasn't your weekend from last week, from Thanksgiving on till now, I don't really know when your weekend is. So yeah, how are you doing, Miss Tilted?
Girl, I'm stuffed. I'm walking around here feeling, absolutely full on so many different levels. I like yourself, enjoyed a hearty feast of a meal up here in these Jersey streets. Linnea hosted this year for the first time. Your girl was nervous, and I had to, of course, be mommy at all times. Like, girl, you don't even worry about it. You could cook, girl. You got this. And baby, let me tell you, she had this. She had fed me this jalapeno popper with chorizo up in it. Girl.
Be
the
fancy.
Spicy on top of the spice, huh?
Be fancy.
Yes, we fancy over here around these parts. You better ask about us Hansford women. We a little different. We built different, and we love good food. So shout out to my daughter for being the hostess with the mostest and making sure her mama didn't have to slave in the kitchen for like the first time in my life. I did bless them with some of my wonderful, and yes, it is wonderful, my wonderful cornbread sausage stuffing. I don't know, many of you who follow me on my regular page, you might have noticed my status where I shared that I almost got jumped in the parking lot, y'all, for not bringing that sausage stuffing together the way I should have a couple years back. But your sister's in redemption right now. And I, like you, I'm tired of food. I'm detoxing right now. We've gotten back with our daily smoothies, and we're doing our best to get away from the carbs. I'm sorry, I just had to have a moment of silence for the carbs, because that's why I'm walking around here feeling stuffed and extra full to this day. I carved it down over the Thanksgiving weekend. All right. Yes. Yeah, it was a bit much. But my belly was full, as was my plate. So listen, I want to go ahead and move the show right on along to what? Our super fan shout out. We got a special one tonight. Can we get that drum roll to Miss Karen?
You know, I got to get on point with all of our stuff.
All right, lend me your ear, lend me your ear, lend me your ear. Did y'all see the joy that just popped across my face? Listen, when I think of tonight's super fan shout out, that's all I can do. She is an eclectic. She is an educator. She is an author. She is a mother. She is a deaconess minister. She is a friend. Oh my goodness. Y'all want to know who I'm talking about. Tonight's superfan shout out goes to Dr. Sharon Gavin Levy. Yes, that's right. Clap it up for Dr. Levy. I have been a fan of Dr. Levy when I met her, since I met her at the Greater Shiloh Church at the Eastern Pennsylvania campus, oh, so many years ago. I'm one who tends to learn someone from observing them. And all I saw from this woman was, classic, swaggy, cool. Does that make sense? Classy, swaggy, cool. And then when I finally had a conversation with her, it's like she's my own personal Nikki Giovanni. Oh my goodness, Dr. Levy, we celebrate the woman that you are tonight, the prayer warrior that you are tonight, the mother that you are tonight, and we're celebrating with you on your new book project. Dr. Levy got a book out there, y'all. It's available on Amazon. That's right. I got to big up my girl. She's like my auntie / sister in my head, because I tell you, every single time she opens her mouth, wisdom just splash wisdom everywhere. Yes. So she got this book out, and it's called Lessons for a Teacher, Hope and Encouragement for You. It's available for purchase on Amazon. Again, her name is Dr. Gavin Levy. Now, if any of y'all know her, get her and tell her we loving on her over here. You know how we like to do them love bombs on Unhinged Live. Dr. Levy, I'm sure the words of encouragement that you are sharing with today's educator will take them, their children, their children's children, exactly where they need to go for generations to come. You yourself have been an educator for years, honey, and we absolutely love you. We love your walk. We love your talk. And I guess it's safe to say when I grow up, I want to be like you, sis. So shout out to you, Dr. Levy, for the hard work you continue to do for your students, for your church community, and now for the global community with the release of this book of encouragement. You are always welcome here at the show, and you never know where I or Karen might pop up in your inbox. Talk about, can we get that interview though? So we celebrate.
Come on over. It ain't no never know. We coming. We coming, Dr. Levy.
We just put it out there. Somebody get Dr. Levy and tell her
that part. You know, Tilted, I gotta give a shout out because Dr. Levy and her husband were neighbors of mine. So we lived in sort of like the same vicinity. And I remember one of these dear haired snowstorms, you know, that y'all got sprinkles up there. Keep them up there. Let me say that again. Keep those sprinkles up there. Whatever Don't care. Keep them up there. But my parents had been in search of, I needed to get gas to my parents. And I got to shout Dr. Levy and her husband out because they got me a gas can so that I could literally go and get gas and travel because it was up north that they had some issues with some gas situations. But we had gas in the PA area. So shout out to Dr. Levy. I am a graduate of Northampton County Community College, honey. That's where I restarted my educational pursuits, and she was in the mix and has always been an encourager. You know, she one of those that love on the boys. But here's the best part: the boys love on her. Not too many folks can say that. Tilted knows it's not a long list of people that that my boy, everybody love on them, but it don't always get reciprocated the other way. You know, keep them on the prayer list for sure. But
the Sim side.
Yes. So we are super happy to always support. Y'all know that it is our sincere joy to support any project, anything that you're doing. Val Marie, we see you in the comment streets. We know you shouting out our sister, and we're thankful for you. You know, we got to pull out our Val Marie Higginbottom and plus family and crew, because it is that time of year that we get to play some of that holiday music as well. So stay tuned. You know, we'll be sharing that again with our folks. But you know, Tilted, we got some new folks in the comment sections. We got some repeat folks coming. We love when we see them in the comment section and y'all come back. Why? Because it lets us and reminds us, encourages our heart. Yes, y'all just making our heart feel all good.
Yeah, so we encourage our hearts.
Yes, we shouting out our friends at Mental Impact Radio. Thanks so much for joining us. You know, we truly believe in God connection. So anytime somebody come over, we peeking up behind the curtain to see who all over there. And we got some wonderful things that we'll be sharing from our new friend Bertrand McKinney music, and excited to share that. You know, in my head, Tilted, I done already thought of other collaborators who listen, I'm turning into a whole real DJ over here, like and you, because we just want some good stuff to be able to groove to at all times. So that's the most important thing. We like, listen, we love God, but we keep moving. So we want to see good energy, connect with good energy. Why? Because our world is in need of it. But you know, we're so super excited that we get the opportunity to not just shout out. We real supporters, y'all. Y'all know that. We don't just come on here and talk about it. Like Tilted said, you never know where we're going to show up. You never know what's going to come into your inbox. We calling on you. We want to know what you got going on. Why? Because what the world needs now is us. Like literally all of us showing more love. So, all right, I'm going to get off my soapbox. We did our shout out, but now here's something different for us that we haven't done in a little while. Y'all know this is the Coach Keita and Coach KASH session this evening. Okay, so that really means y'all ain't gonna never know when y'all need to pull those passports out, because we going somewhere everywhere. But we've had some wonderful guests that we've been able to bring on over the last couple of months, and we're excited just to catch up. Y'all gonna hear some things from us. We want y'all to chime in the comment section. You might see some of your comments pop up, but we are so happy to be here this evening. All right, Tilted, I'm gonna push this co-host microphone back your way so you can keep us on task. What's coming up next?
Girl, you know, I already know I'm about to tag team because you know I ain't got a lick of sense. I just want to say shout out to my boy Birdie. Yeah. You my boy Birdie now, Mr. McKinney, in the comment section. Our Mental Impact Radio family. Check it out, brother. We keeps a shoulder shake going on over here, okay? And I'm telling you, when we go and do our looking into and to see who all over there, my primary objective is to find out exactly who sent you. Okay. So when I went on over there and discovered that you had music of your own, sir, Get ready for us to get on your last natural nerve, playing the beautiful, the wonderful, the impactful, the empowering music that you are putting out there in these streets. We some hip hop heads over here. We just love the Lord and bow our knee that way these days. But again, I like a beat. And as DJ Team Ill Will says it, I'm saved, but I'm still a little bit ratchet. So listen, thank you again for putting so much positive music into the world, Birdie. Welcome to the tribe. We appreciate you and Orlando being here with us on tonight. So, you know, I got to switch this up. All right. I don't even have no water with me right now, and it's okay. And I think it's appropriate because I'm fitting to go down the Petty Pew. Child, that's it. We're transitioning to views from the Petty Pew. That's right. This is
I got to get the church out.
The aunties get together and we get to chopping it up about a little bit of this and a little bit of that and the things that we see going on in these streets. Now, we just got off the conversation about the Thanksgiving stuffing and the food that we overindulged in. But Karen, I'm concerned.
Okay, I'm listening.
I'm concerned because they have not been given Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, whatever y'all want to call him, the man in the red suit that can't come down the chimney because ain't one in my house. But that's a whole nother conversation. Listen, why is Black Friday lasting a month now? I mean, we don't have time again to get to the cornbread stuffing in the chitlins in some sections of our community, and the cornbread and the yams and things, and we can't get there before all of the corporate organizations are, hey, pre-Black Friday sale, we got what you need, come get it while the getting is good. Listen, Karen, help me understand what's going on here. I know you do a whole lot of fiscal management in your day. And, I dabble in a little bit of forensic accounting in my position. And I kind of feel like it's a mass snatch and grab that they would like to go ahead and open up Black Friday sale opportunities for the last quarter to make themselves look good in the quarterly reporting stand. Talk to me, Karen. What are your thoughts on Black Friday lasting a month?
Oh, good gracious. First of all, the challenges. I think they're trying to get us to spend the money before the tithes for the month roll back around. Because once we realize we got to pay our tithes and rent, most of us gonna say, no, I may or may not need that additional television on top of the fire. Shout out to my sister Kimberly. Yes, I'm talking about you. You the one that my sister buys a new television every single year. So much so that now I think we were going from, when the 32 went to the 55 and then the 55 was retired for the 65. I'm pretty sure we in the 70s right now, but I want to know who watching all these TVs when she working all day. I never talk about nobody behind their back, so trust, I have already said these words to her face. The challenge is when it comes on the fiscal side, we've had a lot of opportunities throughout the year to spend money. They're trying to snatch and grab literally before we get to the last of the last. So they don't want us waiting for Christmas and holidays to actually get here. And to kind of, what's the right word? They want to motivate, encourage us to spend money with them before we spend with everybody else. So it used to be, well, y'all remember when we used to get those, I'm going to date myself, back when we used to get those JCPenney's and Sears catalog. It was Sears catalog back in my day, and Toys R Us. So we only had two. Now we looking for all of the early dropping of what's going to be on sale, what's going to be on sale. It's our fault, Tilted, because we kept searching They done took Google Analytics and let the analytics work for them. Okay. So because we were looking early, they said, well, since y'all looking early, we gonna give it to you early. What you gonna get the people? Get the people what they want. And the people keep asking for earlier and earlier times. Now, of course, we know many challenges that come along with that. All I got to say is my Hess trucks are already out. Dr. Levy, Sharon, the Hess trucks have already been delivered. I may or may not have to fight with the grown folks who trying to steal from my grandchildren. That's all. But I'm trying to, keep it straight so we won't need no bail money during the holiday. That's all I got to say on that. So.
Well,
so now Tilton, I have to ask, have you contributed to the Black Friday shenanigans in any way, shape, or form?
Not at all. Not at all. I had took this class back in the day, new members class. It was called stewardship, y'all. So God has challenged us all to be wise stewards over everything that he has blessed us with. Now, looking at, my champagne dreams and my IPA budget, not regular beer, but IPA budget.
Not the IPA budget.
The IPA budget. I'm anything but regular. My IPA budget said, sit down and get you some rest, because the price that you're willing to pay is going to come if you wait for it. Y'all know on my Facebook page, it just say, be still and know that I am God, baby. I'm still and I know God in everything. And I promise you, when I wait, I always end up running into the price I'm willing to pay. So that right now, I consider where we are in the Black Friday season. Hold up. Carry the one. Yeah, we not quite halfway through. And I promise you, some prices are going to be slashing soon. So those of you who didn't run out, and do people still stand in line on Black Friday?
I think they fight with their computers at home. I had a moment of silence because I had to think about that. I only stood in line. I haven't stood in line in 20 years. That last, I think it was a PlayStation, maybe 4. That's the last time I stood on anybody else's line, and I refuse. I'm not doing it.
So we're not standing in line anymore. We're shopping online. Not for nothing, we're living in the midst of our new normal in so many different situations. I know here in the good old divided states of America, we've many of us have been challenged to go ahead and move a little bit deeper into the digital space. So a lot of us are taking advantage of those deals online. Not for nothing, that's how I had got the bomb price on the Samsung Smart TV on a Brown Thursday. Okay, I had snuck on over and got the TV for a steal for what they were selling.
Brown
the Samsung
Thursday,
Smart
the Brown Thursday. Yeah. I didn't want to skip over that. The Brown Thursday.
That's what they used to call it. Now they're just saying everything is already on sale. Come on over here. Right. Oh,
so now I have one PSA that I need to remind our folks, because I had got took this past week again.
What? And you got took?
I got taken. So what had happened, Dr. Levy? Yes, I had purchased something for one of the grandkids, okay? And I had it delivered here because I also send packages and stuff. Y'all know, pray. Somebody stole one of the packages from my doorstep.
What?
Dun, dun, dun. Now, I'd be okay if it was my stuff. Y'all know I'm chill when it comes to that stuff. All right, we're going to call the people. We're going to put the thing in, and then they're going to send another one or whatever they're going to do. They're going to do the refund. But they done stole my grandbaby stuff, and it took me just a little bit to kind of get right with the get right, because now we got somebody else here in the house. The husband is here, and I'm like, maybe you snatched it up? You snatched it up, right? He's like, I ain't touched nothing, so like ready to be fingerprinted. It wasn't me getting in between you and your grandbabies. Now, I got to call a retailer, and they got to resend out something else. And now, if you don't I don't always have my video going on the outside, but now, you know, we all set up. So if they come back through here again and snatch one of them things from my grandbabies again, we're going to have a big problem. But I just, you know, I was struggling with that for a couple of days. Like, who's stealing from my grandbaby? So, that's all I got to say. Now, Marisol, we see you got these J-Lo shoes now. I want to see them.
Girl, Marisol, you have been called to the carpet. Go on and send me a picture of these shoes so I can get it to Karen. All right. We need to know how to get that deal too, because you know we loves us some shoes around these here parts.
That is
so
good.
Look it. You all have tuned into Unhinged Live. It's Coach Keita and Karen on tonight doing what we do best. And y'all know God gave us some sense. For about 90 minutes every Tuesday night, we set a little bit of that to the side to allow the joy tsunami to commence here on the show. So again, I want to say thank you to everybody that's participating and keeping the comments lit. Of course, you hear Dr. Lee, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate you hanging out with us. I see Mom Martha up in here too. Mom Martha is like the choir mom, okay? And can I tell you, Mom Martha is fierce and fabulous, y'all. Mom Martha put us all to the shame up in the gymnasium every day, too. She be in there like 4:30 every day, like clockwork. All right. So if y'all ain't got no aunties around you leading by example, you know, our faith teaches us that our bodies are temples. And if we want the Holy Spirit to properly operate within us, we've got to take care of these temples as best as we possibly can. Now, some of us, you know, like myself, we work in from the crack of dawn until the sun set, and sometimes a little past that. We don't always have the time to get to the gym. So check it out. There are other ways you can help walk some of that turkey off of you. Walk. Do you know and recognize the health benefits of simply taking a 30-minute walk every day? Mm-hmm. In about 30 minutes, I promise you, if you keep a decent, like a 2.5 pace, you know you could put in about 6,000 steps. So yeah, I guess I'm calling some of y'all to the carpet right now because you know I got this thing on my wrist. It's like one of the best investments I made for myself, and I use it for way more than just, you know, talking on it, reading a text message when I'm at work, you know, that kind of thing. I use this thing to monitor my steps and I set a goal. So for those of you who may have given up on your fitness goals, hey, you ain't got to wait till 2024. Mom Martha is giving us the business every single day. So listen, start now. All right. If you missed a day, don't give up. It's okay to start again. I mean, not for nothing. I can imagine just about everybody in the comment section, everybody who's going to tune in at a later date can attest to everything great doesn't always start out great.
Come on now.
Fail. You going to have to go back to the drawing board and rewrite the plan at some point. But check it out. This is what I like to say, because, you know, I just started a new position earlier this year. You know, I just stood there and said to my coworkers, but check this out. If I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail gracefully. If I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail gracefully. What do you mean by saying that, Tilted? Well, by all means, I'll answer you. Yeah, okay. When I say I'm going to fail gracefully, that means I'm going to, okay, as Donnie McClurkin said it, I'm going to get back up again. All right. First thing I'm going to do. And I'm going to brush my shoulders off. And then I'm going to go back to the drawing board. Maybe I need to reread something and tweak how I'm doing things. You know, I'm a queen ager these days. Sometimes the memory, it's not as stickalicious as it used to be. I might have to actually write some cheat sheets down to help give me some guidance until I'm able to do better. Again, everything great didn't start out that way. So don't get confused and caught up in all the glitz and the glamour, because I hate to do it, but I got to do it. Look at our girl, Cardi B. Do I need to say anything else, y'all? Cardi B didn't look nothing like she does now when she first hit the streets. When we first met her on Love and Hip Hop, you know, she had the teeth. She was still doing her nighttime money-making activities on the pole and things like that. And she's sharing how she's used her money to get her teeth fixed, and she let us know that it ain't cheap. So again, we have examples of what it looks like to start all over again. And let me check it out. Check it out. I'm gonna share with y'all a fun fact about Tilted on tonight. Y'all ready?
Come through.
Because listen, people tend to look at me and think I was born with a silver spoon laying on a silver platter. Okay, no, boo. Can I tell you that I've lost everything I've owned, not once, but twice, to a house fire? Yeah. I bought my first, the first time we lost it all, I was like 9 years old. Shout out to my mother, rest in heaven, mommy, for saving everybody that was in the building that day, and risking her own life. But then at the ripe old age of, what was I, 28? I purchased my first family home back in the day when I was a wife. Yeah. We have purchased our first home, and one Sunday afternoon, the Lord saw fit for it to catch fire. While I was in the bed, while Anea was in the bed, she got up to get water, and she came back and told me that there was a fire. So I got up, and sure enough, there was a fire. I threw her out the front door trying to call 911. But I basically watched everything that I worked so hard for to achieve a goal 4 years early go up smoke. And you know, the one thing that helped me get through that situation in my life, you gotta know it was my faith. You gotta know it was my faith. My ex-husband started acting real crazy at that time. He got mad at God for the most petty reasons I could ever list. But all I could do was say and make the declaration, though he slay me,
come on now,
yet will I trust him. Because that was just the thing. The house could be rebuilt. The house could be replaced. God could bless me with one better. So why am I sitting up over crying over spilt milk?
Never.
So to speak. I walked away that day with my life and my daughter's life. And I promise you, God did give me better. That's how I ended up out here in the Lehigh Valley. Bomb condo, but then boom, life happened again. All right. So don't be afraid to lose. Prophetess Fantasia put it out there. Sometimes you got to lose to win again. So yeah, sometimes you absolutely have to lose in order to win again. And sometimes we're holding on to certain things too tight when God been trying to get us to let go. Let me just encourage you as I get off this conversation. Don't get too comfortable with common. Don't get too comfortable with common.
That's a
all right. One. So yeah, you got anything else to spit hot fire on right now?
Listen, you know, many times Tilden and I have known each other for over a decade. But one of the things that we marvel about God's power is that she and I have experienced some similar testimonies. Because back in 1999, when everybody was looking to see if the world was actually going to end, if Prince was right, if we should party like it was 1999, we had a house fire for The Sims. And it was one of those weekends that we were at the mall shopping. So we came home with no money. And all we had was what was in them bags because everything else had burnt down. Now, when I tell you that in my lifetime, when you sit in the seat of gratefulness, number one, you know, I always say we some of God's favorites. I know that sounds egotistical, but his record is good. Like I got evidence. I am the evidence. Not only did he allow us to be away, we came back. That was one of our most special holiday season. So for that Christmas season, it was a week before Christmas. We was in the shelter. We ain't had nothing. People was trying to go to, you know, the different social service agencies to get toys. I said, listen, I don't care nothing about these toys. We need somewhere to live. And not only did the Lord allow for people to pour out in restoration in support of restoring us, we got better. How about that? Better. So you can't tell me nothing about losing nothing. Oh, I'm gonna lose this. Oh, okay. Let me tell you something about the God I serve. If I lose it today, I'm gonna get 2 tomorrow, and they're gonna be an upgrade. So it's something about, we used to hear Tilted the seasoned saints say certain things, and I can say for myself, I would side eye them every time. You can't tell me nothing. I wouldn't give nothing for my journey now. I know too much about him to turn around. But then when you get some evidence in your own life, what's that Ty Galbert song? I seen it in my own life. I seen it with my own eyes. With my own eyes, in my own life. You can't tell me nothing now. So when people tell me about situations that they've gone through, I probably am one of the goofiest people in the world because I get excited. Especially for folks that's connected, because God is not a lie. His word is very, very true. And I'll be like, "Oh, you lost what? Woo!" And then I just, my Holy Ghost praise, because then I know that he's gonna come back with better, because that's all I know. I haven't seen it in anybody else's life that you were lacking and stayed lacking. Yes, you lost some things, but you didn't stay there. Okay, so I love it when you said, Tilted, that don't get used to losing the comment, because don't get too comfortable with comment. Thank you, Bertrand. Because the thing is that when God blesses us, he's looking to bless us with the extraordinary. But some of us hold so tight to the common because it's what we know. Oh, shucks! Because it's what we know. We will stay with the common versus the exquisite. Honey, I want the exquisite. I want the exquisite that God has for me. All right. I don't even know. See, when we get just me and you, ain't nobody here to, keep us on our toes. So ain't no telling where this testimony service is going to go. But I know it to be true. It's a good thing.
Let the record show, right? Let the record show that God is exactly who he says he is. And I'm going to give you a tip. If you ain't went to him, you could go to him just like you are, just like you is right now. All right.
Come through. He got a space for you. Oh, shucks. He got a space for you. That's a bar too, Bertrand. Listen, we also drop bars over here. We drop the bars. We do all of the things. So, all right, we're going to act right. And we have a segment. We have a segment called Let the Record Show. And this was supposed to be, I don't even know what this was supposed to be, but the show did turn into that wonderful segment. Let the record show. What? He did it before, he'll do it again. So y'all don't call me crying because you lost something, because I know the Lord gonna give it back to you one way or another. I don't know how it's coming back, but I'm gonna celebrate with you right at the moment of the loss. Why? Because we can go through hard things, but on the other side of that, child, please. All right, here we go. All right, now listen. We got a whole we have a whole program on paper that we agenda that we supposed to be following. And that's all I'm gonna say.
We some church kids, we don't listen. Look, we some church kids, we gonna remix something.
Every single time.
Listen, so check it out. I'm looking at the clock because I'm excited about the other part of the show. So I'm gonna go ahead and change a hat for me, Karen. Change a hat for me. You fit that, y'all about to hear it. This is DJ KASH right now. You know what? This is DJ KASH right now. And we done told y'all from the top of the show that we are excited about tonight's music spotlight. Again, you heard me give our boy Birdie a shout out because the boy had me shoulder shaking. Yeah. I mean, he got that Cali vibe up in him or something in the production of the sound. But tonight's song, It's our boy Bertrand McKinney. He in the comments section. If you haven't already gone over to Spotify and find him, follow him. And then after you get up off the Spotify Nation, I need you to go on over to the YouTube Nation and find him and like, subscribe, take a listen, or 500. Do whatever it is you feel led to do. But go on and show our tribe member Birdie some love. Tonight's song, Nothing in This World, by Bertrand McKinney. DJ KASH, you ready, baby?
I'm ready. We ready?
We ready. Right. Let's shoulder shake, sis.
All right, we taking it there. Nothing in this world. You know, I'm working from a different laptop today, so you give me 2 seconds while we get over here, and we are pressing play.
I ain't alone no more, nah. Find a real love, all spiritual. Pick me up off the ground when I was feeling low. Come on, 10 toes down, riding forevermore. You made my life better, help your boy to grow. We'll always be together, never letting go. We're more than any treasure, Lord, I love you so. I love the way you shine, you got that special glow. So divine, one of a kind, I gotta let you know. I follow you anywhere, so God take control. I have faith in you alone, let the truth be told. Unlike the usual, you're truly beautiful. You're not the one that treat me cold, you have a heart of gold. Captivated my mind, you have my heart and soul. Snatch me up out the dark, you let your light show. It's you and I together, had to let you know. The day you came in my life, Lord, you blessed this mess. It's you and I together, won't settle for less. More than infatuation, spiritual bliss. Nothing better than this. You're first on my list. This feeling's hard to resist. I'm lost in your midst. Because of you, I exist, and that's a proven fact. You gave my life a twist and ain't no moving back. Lord, you give me joy. You're my creator. I'm caught up in your rapture, Anita Baker. You give me greater, my savior, and I appreciate you. Was once started by nature, you changed my behavior. You took my broken heart and put it back together. Throughout the stormy weather, you're my umbrella. Nothing else can measure. You're my greatest treasure. You give me nothing but pleasure. Because of you, I'm better. Fresh start recording and entertaining. Woo!
Oh, that was that heater. That was a heater, wasn't it?
Listen.
Thank you so much. We are Unhinged live. Oh yeah, what is that? Oh yeah, that's the jam right there, y'all. Listen, I'm Tilted Halo, Coach Keita, sitting alongside my good girlfriend Karen Sims Harrell, Coach KASH herself of Twisted Threads LLC, and we are going at it tonight. Girl, do you not feel the joy? Do you not feel the joy?
It's here. It is here.
I feel so saturated right now with so much excitement and so much joy. But again, tis the season. Joy to the world. I know many of you all have already begun your overindulgence with the Christmas music, the Hallmark Christmas movies. Have you subjected your husband to that just yet, Karen?
I'm staying silent on purpose, but we may or may not have indulged in a couple of Hallmark, and then Disney has some diversity on their side with some Ludacris is in a thing over there with a holiday Christmas thing. I can't remember the name of it, but if they pay for some advertisements, I promise I'll remember. But that one was pretty good. Yeah, so we've been streaming some, I'm usually in charge of the remote, so because he pick horror films when he get the remote, and no good could come of that. At least if I watch Hallmark, he got a chance.
Yeah, pink.
That horror. Now I got to pray all night. Don't touch me. I got to pray now. I got to pray. We got to pray. Make sure none of this stuff get in here. Okay, so that's all I got to say.
And I might have a nightmare and fight you in my sleep. You may not want to do that because we do not play with the spirit world. I guess I've already jumped the gun before I even picked up my remote control. So let me go on and get that done. We're going to get that done. You ready?
I'm ready.
It's time, y'all, to point your remote control at the TV screen. Merrily, 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 merrily. Find something to stream or listen to on an audio book, because that's how we do it over here. Yes, we're going merrily down the stream. Woo. And this one kind of melds together because I promise you this is still a top news story just about everywhere you turn your head. And it has everything to do with our boy, Dum Dum Diddy. I'm sorry, it came out that way. I was hoping the Holy Spirit would restrain me. But yeah, this got everything to do with Diddy. And his recent allegations of abuse and assault by his former paramour. Okay, so check it out. In that situation, some information came out. What's the name of the law? The Adult Protection Act, Karen? Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah, the Adult Protection Act came out and was, made headlines in different published articles and different conversations held on varying media outlets. So more recently, because of that situation with Diddy, we've seen an uprising of how many Hollywood stars, producers, and great and rock and roll stars that are now facing their own allegations of sexual assault. I mean, Jamie Foxx's name is in the mix now. And I'm like, what? Not Jamie. Y'all gonna get the Fox with this Adult Protection Act? Karen, I know you dug into the act when Diddy first got sued, okay? Can you share with me insight about that Adult Protection Act? I believe it recently expired.
It did. So it recently expired, and some of the biggest portion of it is there's a lot of different nuances to this. And so y'all know we go in to get more information similar to you all past the hype. Can we just say that? Past all of the hype, what we're looking for is what are the details that are kind of supporting for this action to be taken now versus all of the many years ago when it came about. And the reason why we've been hearing these names being stacked on stacked on stacked is because the law did just the act that is supporting these allegations and the lawsuits just expired like this month. So it hasn't even been, it's only been maybe about a week since it expired. But people had the opportunity to go in and say, you know what, these things happen, these violent things happened to me so many years ago. And then they're able to go forth and press charges for those violent acts that came on. So literally a whole bunch of things that come include sexual battery, sexual assault, and violations in New York City. So it's very important because this is not a federal law. It's not all over the place. It's in some specific areas that people are able to say, yes, this is what happened to me concerning gender violence. And the challenge for it is called the Adult Survivors Act. Again, mentioned it's a New York law. So it's not everywhere that everybody has gotten this opportunity to kind of say, hey, I was in a bad place and now we need to get to the next part. But because this Survivors Act allowed people to go back decades. So it wasn't even just like, oh, well, this happened to you 5 years ago. Many of the actions that we're hearing and the allegations that are coming up are from anywhere from 5 to 10 years ago. So it's going all the way in there. If you all don't know, it was open for 1 year. So I know for us, it's like, wow, it seemed like everybody's coming out of the woodwork. That's because it was passed and enacted in May of 2022. And folks had from November 24th of last year to November 24th of this year. So 1 year to file civil suits against anybody that did anything wrong. Now, we want to remind folks, because y'all ain't coming for my dollar. Allegedly, all of these are allegations until proven in a court of law. I'm not the court of law, but we do have public opinion to have these conversations and just to kind of bring them to your attention. Because why? We want us to be in the know so we know how to proceed accordingly in the areas that we're going into. So a lot of different things going on tilted with the Adults Survivor Act. And now I think we will still hear more reports, even though the date is closed. They're still combing through all of the different acts and lawsuits that came together. So we may hear a couple more names before we get into the middle of that. So by the time we get to the end of the year, I believe all of the names will be shared because it will become public once these allegations are formally put in place.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm like, wow, son. It's like every morning this week I got up and it's a new person added to the list of those who are facing allegations. I'm like, yo, this is wow. So, you know, I got to be a little tilted. You know, I got to be a little tilted.
Okay.
Has anybody sued Mickey or Minnie in the costume yet for hugging them too tight when they greeted them? I'm just checking because, you know, people be looking to get a paycheck by hook or crook.
That's a good question. I would say maybe. I would say maybe because if you've ever gone to any of the parks, you know, sometimes those hugs come on unexpected. So I don't know.
Well, I hope they're not messing with the furry family amongst us, the people that work so hard every day in them big old mascot costumes that more often than not are not properly air conditioned. They facing enough heat, y'all. So please leave the furry character people alone. And all that get an understanding, you know, ask a question before you go and file a charge or accuse somebody falsely. So hopefully none of these allegations prove true. It's unfortunate that many of the allegations that we've heard in this vein have proven true in the past. So we'll just see what happens as we continue to move steadily ahead in this culture of TMI. I promise you, this is a culture of TMI. Remember when some of these things were sealed and some things were secret? Not no more. Not with the introduction of social media and all these keyboard thugs out here spouting their information as if it is law. So listen,
Right.
be careful, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say, because you never know who might be trying to get you. All right. So all right, we got to get into this one right here.
All right. We
Because
play
you
some
know, you
flowers.
heard Karen, when I called you and I said you got to watch this because we got to talk about this one here
You
on the show.
did. You did. Interrupted my. I don't know what I was. I was watching my Ratchet TV. So let me set this up. I'm in the house watching my Ratchet TV, and here go Tilted, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm watching this. You should too." So we had our production planning meeting impromptu because we just was both available. I had to put down my Ratchet TV and actually pick up the remote, press play on something that was very enlightening, educational. Y'all know I'm here for the learning. I am a forever student. Before anything else, I'm a forever student. And so we both had the opportunity to stream the streaming title Stamped from the Beginning. And I'm gonna stop talking because I'm gonna let you lead this, since you are the culprit. You are the reason why I press play on this one here, Stamped from the Beginning. What was your take?
Well, you know, that's my thing. Listen, it was very insightful, and it gave me a different perspective on a whole lot, Karen. For those of you who are not aware, Stamped from the Beginning actually was a book before they did this adaptation for Netflix. And it's actually a book that has been banned with all of the recent controversy about diversity, equity, and inclusion, critical race theory being taught and introduced in certain school systems. I thought it was very important that and very on time that Netflix chose to release this particular film during the holiday weekend, when many of us were gathered with our families and friends, and we had the time to sit down and actually have an intelligent discussion about some of the things we heard and saw. Now, just to give you a brief synopsis, it was the first question at the top of the whole broadcast. Where did racism come from?
Mm-hmm.
We were introduced to the notion that there is no such thing as race, but it was just a concept that was introduced in order to place a certain cultural facet in a position of hierarchy over another. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we got to hear a little bit of insight from some thought leaders who participated in this presentation, who shared what they know about certain historical figures and the roles they've played in making sure that this society that we live in here in the divided states of America recognized Black as something that wasn't necessarily a good thing. We saw many depictions throughout the show of how slavery was part of that story. We also saw how the indentured servants, who were not, Black or brown people, but they came from Polish and even Irish descent, and they worked just a little bit higher than the slave, but they were given certain levels of privilege because of the color of their skin, even though, again, a certain hierarchy here in this country regarded them just as low as a slave, if not worse, because they weren't doing as good as them, so to speak. Listen, they broke down that conversation about Thomas Jefferson like I've never heard it before. It's got me giving one of the nation's presidents the side eye real hard right now. Got me giving them the side eye real hard because, again, we've heard from different thought leaders again, or at least I know I have in the past, where some people love them, some hate them. I've never really run into anybody who was like, yeah, that's my dude, that's my guy. No, it's either one way or the other. And I'm looking at him with the side eye because I believe he was very infatuated with one of his African or colored or Negro slaves. Okay. And he went on to father how many babies with that woman?
A dozen or more. I don't know the number. Somebody in here gonna tell us the number, but it was more than a few.
It was more than a few. So I don't know. Karen, stop me right now.
I'm gonna tap in. I'm gonna tap in. So one of 6. Thanks, Robbie Jackson, because we'll double them up anyway. One of the things that I thought was really insightful. So the movie itself is actually like a hybrid. So it's sort of half documentary, half series type feel. Like they put some fictional, not information, but there's a movie sort of behind it. And so they presented the story of Thomas Jefferson. And one of the things that came out from that was they talked about him being hypocritical. They talked about Abraham Lincoln. They also talked about the race laws, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was that they had to put in place specific laws that were only directed to Black people, because one of the challenges was when in the beginning, slavery wasn't just a Black versus white thing. There were, as Tilted said, indentured servants. And so they had some things and they could get away with things and go into different areas. And so the transatlantic slave trade actually came about because people were losing slaves because they couldn't find them, because people could appropriate into normal society and they didn't know who was who. So a lot of times we don't hear, like, slavery didn't start because they went into Africa and brought some Africans over here. Slavery was already here in these United States, but it wasn't sticking around the world, okay? Around the globe. It wasn't sticking because people could acclimate and then go on to regular life. So you didn't have to run nowhere to be free. You could be free in plain sight if you looked like the community. So it was easier for people to take hold and retain their property, because I can tell usually Black versus non-Black. And so it went into the fact of, I think it was now I can't remember the I want to say Phyllis Wheatley, but that ain't it, Wheaton. But it was the poet, and so she had written a book.
It was her.
Okay. So here's a story. Little girl writes the book. The folks bring her in and say, you didn't write this book. I want to know who wrote this book for you. She had to go before, kind of like in a court type setting, to say, I wrote this book. And they were like, no, it wasn't you. It was 1,000 other people. It couldn't have been you. You can't be that smart. You can't be that articulate. You can't be ... So they had a whole list of things that she couldn't be. And she had to prove that a young Black woman could be articulate, couldn't be educated, and know enough to write the writings that she had presented as her own. Now imagine, being a young woman in a place where it's all a bunch of old white men. That's what we gonna tell the truth.
That's what it is, sis. That's what it was.
And she had to answer their questions, where they are questioning, not only is this your writing, but you need to prove to us that you are capable of even having such a high caliber of thought in the way that you put things together. I love the fact that the documentary / sort of series had people from all types of backgrounds, that they were asking questions. Angela Davis was on there. We had a couple of folks that might be new to you, Carol Anderson. So, and Ibram Kendi is the writer, the author of the actual book, and is one of the producers and background folks for the film itself. But so many different things that came out of this. And I'll tell you the thing that was the most impactful. It wasn't about anybody's opinion that they were putting forth. It was actually, here is the fact. Here is the next fact. Here's what happened because of that fact, including lynchings, how those came to be, including how, and this is the thing that I think many of us, when we start thinking about anti-racism versus racism, is that the majority of race relation issues has been happening over the past, if we say 60 to 70 years. That means that the grandparents and great grandparents that are still alive have the oral history to tell exactly what has been happening. And I thought, wow, this is really interesting to learn, not hate talk, but to learn the fact about what happened in these pockets of the world where race became an issue because we created it to be an issue. And I think that was the biggest thing that impacted me. Race wasn't here before we got here. Race was created for a reason of property, period. Just because I want to know which property is mine, which property I can snatch and grab. And the fact that, and I have to say this, because this is the thing that it brought to mind. A lot of time our African-American community, especially our males, are deemed as unfit or unworthy. They are pictured as bad parents because they leave their kids. They don't take care of their kids. When in fact, slave owners were the immediate counterpart of that, who actually did that thing. That I didn't even have to acknowledge you as my offspring or DNA because you were property. The laws that they put together said that you could not rape a Black woman. It didn't matter whether you assaulted her. It was rape. It didn't matter that you beat her or you murdered her because she was not human. Like, that was the way that they presented it. Black women are not human, so you can't rape them. They're strong, so if they die, it was of their own accord. Doesn't matter whether you beat them to death. So it was a lot of information that was in there that I know our schools have not taught at a large degree. I know that it's just crazy. Thank you, Dr. Levy. I think that's you. Slavery was racialized here in America because of money and power. And that's all it was. That's all it was. They wanted the money and they wanted the power to keep it. It had nothing to do with nothing else. You know, when we hear people say, oh, they don't like us, they wasn't even thinking about us. Like, it was not that level. This was a way that I get to make money. And this is a way that I get to retain my power. And in those two things, money, power, and respect, we done heard that so many years, but understanding that they were willing to put a stamp. And I take it personally because I'm a Black woman. So it was like, a Black woman can't be raped because she's promiscuous, because she ain't worth a doggone. So you can do whatever you want to do with her and you won't go to jail. You won't get prosecuted. You can have as many kids and leave them. It don't matter because we're going to swap them out and do all of the things. But when we understand how these racial concepts have actually impacted the way that we see the world, the way that the world operates, it's crazy that we don't have these larger conversations because people are uncomfortable with the truth. I'm not saying that you did it. You know, a lot of time we talk about white privilege and people don't like that term. I don't care what you call it. I just want to have the conversation. White guilt that comes along with that. So literally here in North Carolina, there is a law this is a law that we operate under at the university, that it's not only that they are restricting the way that you present DEI and DEIB and justice, all of the titles, all of the letters that you could use. It's not only that the laws are pushing forward how we teach, but in the teaching, we cannot compel somebody to agree with us, number one. And in the second portion of that, this is the reason why I really do my best to work hard in support of how do we change the cultures on our university campuses, because our students are there and because we're there. Okay, the students only got to be there for 4 years. I'm going on year 7. All right. I know Dr. Lever's got decades at the university. We got to stay here. But the thing that the law here in North Carolina says is that we can't cause people to feel guilty about their perspectives. How do I know what I'm saying and how it's going to affect your perception? It is an impossible feat just by adding that one word of you cannot cause someone to feel. Feeling, emotions, that is a personal construct that I have no, it's subjective. I can't say, if I say, hello, my name is Karen Ann Sims Harrell, you might feel some type of way because I didn't say I'm Harrell. I don't know what is going to cause you to feel guilt or ashamed, or it's like a list of 4 or 5 different things. And so we shared that with people like, I cannot do it. We need to like have these conversations so people understand that's your responsibility. However you feel, you're going to feel. And we could talk through that, and I'll respect you enough and have empathy enough for your perspective. But for you to put a muzzle on me, because now I can't say anything because it may or may not cause you to feel a particular thing. These laws are popping up all across the nation. And this is the reason why we bring these conversations to you. Yes, we can talk about the entertainment because this is Merrily Down the Stream. We already knew this was going to be a mashup remix. We already into what's really going on, because what's really going on is that a lot of this stuff is being erased. We used to say, well, they're whitewashing it. Now, if we can't even talk about it, there's no wash. We got magic erase. Mr. Clean is on the walls by the time we end these conversations, because there will be nothing left standing. And so we always want to do our best to empower you with information, to point you in a direction. You get to go over there, go ahead and stream on the streaming services. They ain't cut us no check, so we ain't gonna tell you which one, but you know, y'all will figure it out. All of those things that come up, it's really important for us to understand that all it takes is our voice. I promise you, you know, Tilted, you posted on social media that some of our collabs for 2024, the blessings are already coming. And one of those blessings that I'll be able to do is to share at a university level what staff can do. Because a lot of times it's like, well, faculty, students, but what about the staff? Where I'll be helping to facilitate a training for people of, here's what you could do right from your own lane. We're not asking you, we can't all be Jesse. All of us can't be Reverend Sharpton. You know, we can't be all of we can't be all of the reverends and the deacons, but we can be ourselves right where we're at and make impact right in our corner, right in our space in the world. And this is God design. You know, I think a lot of times people always think because we're divided that the church also needs to be divided. Stay tuned for that conversation. That's another conversation.
Girl.
So I'm gonna cast that mic on this, but I enjoyed the watch. It is worth the watch. I don't care what your background is. Education is education, and I think that as we try to become better global citizens, having these conversations, learning this information is important to each of us. And we got some more to share with y'all. So stay tuned for all of that. Yes,
definitely. Most definitely. You know, when I was watching it, a number of different things was popping through my head. And I remember, especially when they talked about Phyllis Wheatley. As authors ourselves, we know what it's like to go through writer's block. And, you know, I would hope that any young man or young woman that will take the time to watch this presentation will walk away feeling empowered to continue to use your voice. One of the literary greats that was featured in the presentation was Dr. Maya Angelou, delivering a piece in the passionate way she always delivered. To the point where when she was done spitting that fire, she was in tears. If you don't know her story, you would know that something terrible happened to her as a child, and she didn't speak for many, many years. So we're grateful that something transpired in Dr. Angelou's life where her tongue was loosed, where she could speak again and decided to speak again. And not only did she speak, she picked this thing up here. And the rest is history. We received that testimony, and I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. One of my favorites, y'all. But yeah, don't be afraid to use your voice. And I always like to share the cliche. I want to be the change I want to see in the world. So it, as you can see it here on Unhinged Live tonight, we're able to have this dialogue without it being a whole neck pop and a girl, they did us dirty. See, our faith has already taught us that our people perish for a lack of knowledge. And my deal is this: when you get the knowledge, you get the understanding. And when you get the understanding, boom, you held accountable for what you know. So as opposed to looking at your brother or your sister who may not be of the same hue as you, ask a question to seek an understanding. I know that I once had a supervisor who was of a different cultural representation. She was Indian. And there was chatter about this woman, and people were sharing their opinions on the person she was. And all I did was watch her. All I know is I saw someone who was very diligent. And when she spoke, she knew what she was talking about. Mm-hmm. So we had a chance in the social environment for me to talk with her. And me, I'm the one that's going to go up to the leadership. I ain't going to separate myself because I'm the boss too. So I want to go ask one of my bosses a question. Oh, hey, how you doing? Can I ask you what your name means? The way that woman's face lit up because I asked her what her name meant. I found out that it meant princess. And I found out some other things because the conversation continued past the question that I had asked her about something that was her culture. Her name wasn't an uncommon name. Me just being tilted, y'all know there's a Y in tilted because I always got questions. Listen, I asked a question that sparked the conversation that formed a mutual respect between this woman and myself. During her tenure at the agency, we understood one another. And there was a rough season that I had gone through where I had to go talk to her and just let it out in her office. I'm grateful that she saw me. And she said, Nikita, you a strong woman. And I said to her, so was you. I got to let these tears fly, get it off my chest so the body count stays at 0. Even in the workplace. So yeah, get used to it, y'all. Some of us are trailblazers and we're in rooms preparing the way for you all that don't necessarily look like the preferred, so to speak. Talking to my baby girl about this and the statistics and how they're changing here in the country. I don't know if a certain level of hierarchy is still going to be able to stay in place if they go back and look at the numbers, because the way my family tree is set up, it's red, yellow, black, white, orange, purple, brown, you name it. We got it over here. And not only do we have different colors, we also have different sexual orientations. Yeah. And check it out. The love don't flow no different around these parts. We love everybody as long as you're not doing harm to yourself. And as long as you're not doing harm to others, we can live this blessed life together. How about that? So you've tuned in to Unhinged Live. I'm your girl, Tilted Halo, Nikita Hansford, your girl, Keita, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims Harrell, Coach KASH herself of Twisted Threads LLC. Listen, it's been a great show. And I just want y'all to know that are in the comments that if you've been here for a while with us, I did ask Marisol to send a picture of them shoes, all right, that she purchased on extreme sale.
I would like to see.
I sent you the text message, girl.
Oh, you said I'm working over here. I'm
sorry. I sent you the text message, girl, and I did not want to.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go back and say, when won't he do it? Yes, he will. Yeah, yes, he will. Yes, he will. Okay, we're gonna upload the picture of these of these shoes. It might be in the group. If y'all not a part of Unhinged live group, go on over there on the Facebook group pages and get over there, because we're gonna share this. When the Lord bless you with they do look like they $120 shoes. That's what I really want to know, because you know how people say like retail value 120, you be like, I wouldn't pay $2 for these. These I would pay some cash for. Coach Cash would definitely throw down for. These is nice.
This is nice, Marisol.
Very nice. Now you know I'm over here working till I gotta keep the phone way over there. Nobody ain't got time for that. But okay, we can get these photos up.
Tablet, just a couple laptops. I'm working here. Okay,
we gonna do it. I promise. Thank you so much, Marisol, for even being behind the curtains, submitting topics and content to keep this show rolling. We appreciate you. Them some cute shoes. You're right. You and your husband. Yeah, your husband gonna like them shoes too. I know he like them shoes. Those is cute. They sparkle and they blingy. So for those of you who, if you don't know, you should know. Coach Cash is all about the bling. Wherever the bling coming from. Listen, if it ain't on my hand, around my neck, on my arm, I want to see the bling. I'm here for the shiny. What did I say? You know, we here for the extraordinary, the extraordinaire. That's what we here for. So let it bling, let it bling.
We are not kicking it with Common in the year 2024 and years beyond. We are not kicking it with Common. Especially not Common the rapper, since it seemed like he in another relationship, and they had said he was for the streets. But let me not start.
We may not bring that up next week, because you know, Tilted, I'm gonna give a cliffhanger. We gonna start talking. We gonna talk about more of those married folk myths that had come up in some of our social media gatherings. We gonna talk about that in the future show. So y'all come back if y'all got something to say about, you know, the what do we want to call it? I don't know, but
the marriage myth.
The marriage.
Something we're gonna get into. We gonna segment that, because that's a little too basic. Y'all know I like to put a spin on things, and I'm glad you brought up that in the conversation. Before I move forward, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Lynette Lynch Drayton, who's been hanging out with us in the comment streets. Hey sis, we see you. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for laughing with us, Dr. Levy. You know how it goes down. You know how I do. Point blank, period. So listen, our sister and friend to the show, Minister Tamara Williams, posted a very, very wonderful thought today as it relates to single women, and how certain people would like to try and dismiss the single woman from their little married life for whatever reason or another. I'm trying to get on over here to her page, because I want to read her verbatim, because it started a wonderful conversation.
It did. That's true.
She saw a post about protecting her marriage, or she's protecting your marriage from the unmarried. Listen, some of these single women want y'all to stay married, and they want to believe that marriage can work. Duh. Some single women are intercessors. Now, I can't speak for single men. And that's what she put down there on this here Facebook post. And I'm telling you, many of us single women that have stood alongside our married sisters, our betrothed to be married sisters, praying, talking off ledges, you know, encouraging, kicking that real game concerning marriage. Listen, we rolled up and was like, yeah, because we don't want your husband. We want a husband of our own. And we taking note.
My own. So I took it personal, Tilty. I probably shouldn't have. I took it personal.
Listen. And then you got me. People, women like myself. I was once a wife. I'm just in a single season right now.
Come on, single season.
I'm in my single season now, but that doesn't mean I don't still carry a weight of wisdom on how to make a successful marriage. All right. Now, my situation didn't work out for reasons that he know about. We still cool, but it's just he broke covenant. That's basically what it boils down to. I'm not gonna shame that man because we got babies and memories, and it wasn't always a bad thing. But listen, we're the ones that are pouring. We are the ones covering, especially if we're with our friends, because we see reflections of ourselves in you. I see reflections of myself in you, Karen. So that's what allowed me to step into some of my holy boldness and say certain things to you before you went on over and crossed over into this covenant. Listen, do not begrudge your single friends, y'all. You kind of sparked on something, Karen. You mentioned the church, and I'm gonna say this because I can. It's my platform. Church be doing single people straight dirty. Y'all put us in service, and we just serving, and ain't nobody in the church house of the male persuasion that's actually single enough to actually try to talk to us.
You said single enough.
Well, they ain't officially single. I know it's some creeping deacons.
I know what you said. That's why I repeated it. Okay.
And some pimps in the pulpit that be trying to spit game. Women that, you know, they have perceived to be broken or even weak. But baby, you put us in service and don't nobody see us. And then what happens is you get so many single women that are just content, when I believe that the purpose of marriage from the heart of God is to continue to make you better, as iron sharpens iron. It really is a ministry, because not only do you have to minister to your spouse, you first got to minister to yourself. Can we spend some time with the Lord so we know nobody?
Send the purple cloth. Send the purple cloth.
But again, we're going to get more into that in some future shows, because we believe in keeping it real here at Unhinged Live. And again, get your passports ready. You never know where we're going to go. So listen, get ready, y'all. It's about that time. Looking at my Gucci, it's about that time. What? Oh, listen, it's about time for us to receive yet another impactful, powerful word of encouragement, instruction, and direction from our very own in-house master life coach, Karen Sims Harrell, Coach KASH, as we like to call her, of Twisted Threads LLC. Coach KASH, take it away.
Listen, you all already know when I come through, we're going to get a title and get right into it. Today's title is what? Taste testing. And I'm mentioning taste testing, not just because we still might be coming off of a food coma, but because we got about 33 days to the end of the year. So y'all know that I kick it up when we get closer to the end of the year. This is the time for the taste testing. Many of y'all might be about that, New Year's resolution life. We not over here. Taste testing means try something new before the end of 2023. Listen, we trying to come through to taste something new before the end of this year. 33 days. We get to maybe tip your toe in the water. Maybe you don't want to get your hair wet. I get it. You don't want to get your whole body drenched, but tip your finger in there. See if that water is the right temperature for you over there. When you, instead of trying to write a whole book, start just putting some entries in the journal. Maybe a book is not your thing, but you decided I want to start a blog. Do that taste testing, sis. Maybe you're trying to figure out, how can I save for that next car, that next house, to be able to afford something for my man when he come, or otherwise you for the woman. One of the conversations that I'm going to tell y'all I had with my now husband was before he was a fiance. And his word to me, this is the difference of you understanding who you are during your taste testing season. He said to me, I'm not really sure if I could actually finance the ring that I want to get for you. My entire answer to this beautiful man that is now my husband is, if you want to, you will find a way. entire answer meant. When you start taste testing, you believe in it to be gonna taste like something. So even if it don't taste good, some of us left the Thanksgiving table not as satisfied as we thought we would be. But if you pack your own Mrs. Dash, your own salt and pepper, maybe go on over there with Benance and carry your own hot sauce, you become the flavor in your world to impact your everyday living. You can't expect for flavor if you didn't try nothing. If you didn't put some cinnamon in, if you didn't put that nutmeg, maybe this time, well, I'm not here for the flour and the sweet potato pie, but maybe you did something different with those sweet potatoes than you did the last year. Maybe you zhuzh up the stuffing this time. Treat your life in the same way that you treat when you get in the kitchen. We all are able to follow a recipe, but not too many people I know don't put an extra dash of something. It'll be an extra dash of sugar, an extra dash of salt. You tasting it one more time. Maybe we need some Worcestershire sauce. Maybe we need some soy sauce. Maybe we need some of that brown sugar. We're going to talk about the light brown versus the dark brown sugar. I don't know how we got that in these streets, but I like extra molasses in my sugar. So I use the dark brown. Whatever it is during these last 33 days, don't you dare wait. Do your taste testing right now so that when 2024 gets here, honey, not only will the doors be wide open, but you will be ready to walk into 2024 with all of the greatness, with all of the radicalness that God has for you. One of the things that I often say, and I hope you adopt it as well, I don't want to get to heaven and find that I left a bunch of blessings here on earth. We get the opportunity to start our taste testing now and find out what works for us. Some of y'all, that'll be a dating chronicle that we'll talk about at another time. I ain't saying you have to eat everything you see, but doggone it, peek over there and see what's in the window before 2024 gets here, because many of us are already counting out 2023. There's still miracles left to be done. There's still changes that you can make. It takes 21 days to create a habit. So start taste testing today and keep on doing it until you find yourself in a brand new you, whether it's fitness, whether it's your faith, whether it's your finances, the job, or just your own peace of mind. You get to take hold of it today. Start your taste testing now, y'all. You know, it's Coach Cash. I'm passing the mic back. Tilted.
Who got the brand new flavor in the air? Coach Cash got the flavor in your ear. We got the brand new flavor in your ear. Coach Cash got the flavor in your ear. You know, I had to go there because it was a myriad of different albums that released last weekend, and I'm still having my own little listening session. Shout out to Busta Rhymes. I got to see him on my birthday live this year. It was litty. But listen, thank you so much, Karen. Very powerful. And we're going to get into this Just Be. And tonight I'm just going to, piggyback on my sister and just encourage you to just be. But in this season, I'm going to encourage you to be salt and light. Many of you here, I'm familiar with you and I'm familiar with your faith walks, and you know that we are called to be the flavor in this world. So whether you are some Smack Your Mama, maybe you use some Lowry seasoning salt, maybe you some peak Himalayan salt, whatever comes out your salt shaker in the situation that God calls you to, be the salt and the life, because without us people of faith, this world will be so very boring and have a whole lot less color. And we already know that our light, the light that we carry, it burns on the altar of our heart and it illuminates whatever space we walk into. So make sure that, again, as you're being salt, as you're being light, you be sure to illuminate each and every space you enter with so much love and grace that folks will have no choice but to chuckle, laugh, or smile simply because of your presence. Just be salt and light, y'all. Listen. Karen, it's been a show.
I think that's the show.
It's been a show. Thank you again to all of our new listeners, our new viewers. Thank you again to each and every one of our replay viewers that'll catch us at a later date and time. I hope your life continues to be richly blessed. We are Unhinged Live, and We are out. Peace.